All right, we've got, this is Joel Finkeldei, the winner of our men's elite race. We was just talking to Joel, and he was saying that he enjoys these videos because he gets to hear how the race went from the perspective of the winner. Today, you're the winner.
That's new for me.
So I guess you get to watch yourself talk about the race. Probably the big moment in this race was the mechanical. What happened, first off, with that?
Yeah, so back on maybe like the third from the last big corner into the straightaway there, I guess I pinch flatted or maybe hit a sharp rock or something that was buried in the mud, and heard my front tire going down. So that was a little worrying. I was on the front at that time, and Mitch, who finished second today, was on my wheel. So I did my best to keep it upright and sort of try to block him through some of those corners, but I still ended up in the last straightaway through these pine trees here before the start-finish straight. I had to sort of run my bike through there into the pit, but luckily it was right there. I was able to throw my bike down and get a new bike, and he had pretty much the whole straightaway gap on me at that point, so just trying to calm down and focus there. Yeah, so I don't know. It took me, like 4 or 5 laps to whittle that gap down, but yeah, it didn't end up being as much of an issue as I thought it was going to be, luckily.
Well, I think that's a good lesson for any cyclocross rider. Looking at your face, you seemed very calm, and it seemed like you were chipping away maybe each half lap about 5 seconds. What was going through your mind once that gap opened up?
Yeah, so like I guess it was just the first lap there. It was me and Mitch and David pretty much together, and I could hear Mitch sort of struggling to keep a wheel, or at least that's how it sounded to me. So I was hoping that was real and not just how he sounds normally. So I just kept that in the back of my head and said, stay calm, but you still gotta sprint on these straightaways anywhere you can make up some time. So it also helped that like at 2 to go, it sounded like the announcers were talking about it being 1 to go, and I was really thinking I gotta go now. And so I basically closed the gap into the finish straight with 1 to go, and so that felt pretty good because at that point he was already sort of popping off, and I just knew I needed to hold it steady and be smooth. So yeah.
So it was a little bit of a announcer-induced, perhaps the first announcer-induced move that we've seen, perhaps at least this year in Wisconsin cycling.
Yeah, maybe.
So after that, then you kind of stayed on the gas, it looked like, and really, and you ended up winning by about 20 seconds or so. I don't know. I mean, once you made that move, how did your mindset change, or what were you thinking about?
I don't know. It didn't really change so much as it felt good to be back on the front, and I knew he was struggling to just even keep the pace he was at. So, I mean, other than bridging back up to him, I wouldn't even say there was like one move except for, when I came back through the start finish, I really put it down to make sure he couldn't be on my wheel. But yeah.
Sweet. Well, and finally, you are having quite the season. You started in Cat 3. Now
Yeah.
You won an elite men's race today. Do you view yourself as an inspiration for Cat 3s everywhere?
I don't know. I mean, from my point of view, it was really, last year was my first cyclocross race. I had messed around on the cyclocross bike before, but jumped in and had a lot of fun, but I didn't really train. And so it just sort of goes to show when you set some goals and focus your energy on that, you can, do well. So I suppose in that way, yeah. But yeah, I don't know what happened other than, focusing and training more.
Okay. Well, it seems like, mentally, obviously you were very strong today, and physically and technically you were great too. So maybe a future in coaching, or perhaps write a book about it or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe more mentoring. I don't know if I'm a qualified coach, but sure. Yeah, I'll share my routine with people.
Well, cool. Well, thanks. Congratulations on finally getting to the chance to watch yourself as the race winner with the interview, and great race today.
Thanks.